Hey, what's going on, subscribers? Welcome back to another brand new video from the Flaming Prophets YouTube channel. I hope all of you are having a fantastic day, and thank you so much for joining today's video. In this video today, I will 100% convince you why you absolutely need a credit card and 5 reasons why you must get one as soon as possible if you do not have one yet. That is my objective, and I know that these 5 reasons are very good and will convince you 100% for you to get a credit card. And before we get started, make sure you hit the subscribe button for the Flaming Prophets YouTube channel. We create amazing financial content to better your financial future, and we teach you how to become a profitable investor in the stock market, as well as personal growth and development as well. And these are some of my affiliate links. It's free money by using any one of these links that I show you, and it also helps out the YouTube channel. With this, it's a free stock with the Robinhood brokerage. This is the best brokerage that I use, and I 100% love it. You get a free stock if it's your first time signing up for Robinhood, if you use the link in my description. And then the next is M1 Finance. This is a really good investment brokerage where you can buy fractional shares, meaning you do not have to buy the whole price for one share of a company. You can just invest however much money you want to invest. So if you want to spend $50 in Amazon stock, you can do this with this application, and it's $10 for your investment. And then the next affiliate link that I have is with Acorns. This is an amazing brokerage where you can invest spare change. You link it to your debit card and it rounds up to the nearest dollar, and it invests those extra 20 cents, 30 cents from every purchase that you make. And it's $5 so that you get started with that brokerage account. And then the next affiliate link that I have is with Mercari. This is the absolutely best selling platform that I have. You can buy and sell on this platform from your mobile device. It makes it very simple, and you get $10 off your first purchase if you use the link in the description. And all of these help out the YouTube channel, so make sure to let me know in the comment section if you use any one of these, and I will definitely give you a shout out. Alright, let's go ahead and get to it. Number one reason why you should get a credit card is cash back. So in case you didn't know, credit cards are very popular because they offer you percent cash back for your purchases. So this can differ on the credit card you get, but it's usually between 1%, 2%, or 3%. And this means that for the total dollar value of your expenses that you made with the credit card, by the end of the month, you'll get a certain percentage of that cash back. So for example, if it has a 1% cash back, if you spend $1,000 that month, you get $1. If you spend $10,000, you get $10. It works like that. And there's some that pay 2%, 3%. You might say that this is very little, but it actually adds up over time. It's sort of like a dividend payment, and the longer you keep it, the more these amounts compound over time. And this is very good because you're gonna make these expenses anyway. You're always gonna get gas if you drive a vehicle. You're always gonna pay for groceries at the store, so you might as well get some cash back for that, for those expenses. And another bonus is if you run some sort of business, by you making those expenses on a cashback credit card, usually your expenses are very high, which can lead to a lot of cashback. So for example, when I had my eBay business, I was using other people's money to make purchases of products that they paid me for, and with their own money I got cash back for every purchase I would make, which was for a profit. So on top of the profit, I would get a cash back for using a credit card to pay for these expenses for the business, the product. So number 2 is it helps you build credit to be able to borrow money to invest and grow your net worth exponentially. So I grew up listening to Dave Ramsey, and he's super against debt and credit cards. He says never use a credit card for good reasons, because most people don't know how to manage their finances. They get carried away with credit cards and using them, and they pay for things that they can't afford with credit cards. And that's when it becomes a problem, because this ultimately leads to credit card debt, and it basically backfires on you. There's no point if you're accumulating debt to use credit cards. It will only make your position much worse. So my point is, if you use a credit card wisely, you'll be able to build your credit score. And when you have a good credit score, you'll be way more likelier to get a good interest rate on a home mortgage. And for example, let's say you don't have the full amount to pay for a house. You can get a home mortgage from a bank. But the only way that you're going to be able to get the home mortgage from a bank is if they check several things. And one of those, the biggest thing that they care about, is your credit score. So if you do not have a credit score, there's no way that they're going to be able to give you a mortgage. It's very hard for them to do it unless you have a super high income. And if you allow yourself to get the mortgage, this will allow time to be saved on your end. You don't have to put that big of an initial investment on a property, and you could actually rent it out for someone else to pay the mortgage down. So you only spent the minimal amount, and the bank gave you the full amount to be able to own the house, and then you're renting it out so that way you don't have to pay all of the mortgage payments. And at the same time, you're accumulating equity in the home, so it's the value that you own of the actual house, not the loan, just the entire house. And the person that's renting from you is actually paying off the loan, and you're building your net worth because every single payment gives you more of that ownership of the house. So it's definitely a win-win scenario, especially if you do it wisely. And that's why it's important that as soon as you can, 18, 19, 20 years old, start applying for that secured credit card, which you're going to put an initial deposit, like let's say $500, and that's going to be your credit line. Usually you can't apply for a credit card straight up like that. That's why you have to start with a secured credit card, where you let the bank borrow $500 from you, and that's going to be your monthly credit card limit. And as long as you don't go past that $500 limit and pay it off in full, eventually you'll be able to get that credit card. There's a huge argument in the personal finance space on whether or not a house is an investment or not. But the truth is, the house is only an investment if you are not paying for the mortgage. Because if you just simply get the loan and have someone else pay the mortgage for you by living in it, then it becomes an investment, because you get to keep a certain amount of the rent that they pay for, and the rest goes towards the mortgage. But if you live in it, then it's definitely not an investment, because you're having to pay that mortgage payment every single month. But it's still definitely better than renting, because at least you're building equity. So getting a mortgage is much more preferable over renting, but it's still not an investment. So the best thing you can do is buy a house with a mortgage and then rent it out, and that way you can build equity in the house and still make money every single month from that rent. And I also forgot to mention that some places where you rent actually check your credit score as well, so it's also important for renting as well. So number 3, there's also a lot of reward programs. Sometimes they have some sort of special offer where if you sign up for this credit card and spend, like, let's say $1,000 in the first month, they'll give you like $200. And you can do something called churning credit cards, meaning you take advantage of these programs that they offer just for the cash that they offer, by you spending a certain dollar amount, which you're going to do it anyway with your normal day-to-day expenses. And once you're done getting that reward and it's actually in your account, then you close the account and then you look for the next offer or incentive program from another credit card company. This is something I've done with banks, where they offer, like, if you put $10,000 into a checking account, they'll give you a $400 bonus or something like that deposit into your account. And it definitely works. There's nothing wrong with doing that. Number 4, I'm actually gonna not go into too much detail on this because I'm planning on making a video on this. But I've been using this brokerage account called Acorns, which connects to your debit card. And every time you make a purchase, so let's say you buy a cup of coffee, that's $1.70. Those 30 cents to the next dollar get rounded up and invested into a portfolio. So every time you make a purchase, it automatically rounds up those extra cents enough needed to make the next dollar. So if it's $2.80, it'll invest 20 cents for you. And every single purchase, it puts it into an investment portfolio. And I discovered this sort of hack, a spending hack, where if you combine investing with Acorns with the cash back, you're basically like not even putting aside the money to invest. You're just using that cash back to pay for your investments in the Acorns app, which can lead to a lot, especially if you do this for 20, 30, 40 years. And it's kind of like free money because you're making money from investing your spare change, and you're making money from the cash back. So overall, it reduces your expenses, and it gets to the point where you're almost paying like 30-40% less on your normal day-to-day expenses just by investing spare change and utilizing cash back on every single one of your purchases. It definitely adds up in the long term, and there's no reason why you should be using a plain old debit card that just withdraws your account, where you can be taking advantage of incentives, programs, cash back, and building your credit score, which is essential to your future. Now, for the last tip, using a credit card allows you to delay expenses for 4 weeks until the bill is due for the utilization of the credit card, which essentially buys you time for a quick, profitable investment. So I do a lot of swing trading and day trading. Well, actually not day trading that much, but swing trading and long-term investing, dividends, all sorts of investments that I use. And I've been in a lot of situations where just by investing like $100 more, I would have made like somewhere around $30 to $40 more from the investment just by putting in the money, which will increase my average cost of the investment, the average price paid. But because the investment is still growing, I'm able to make a higher rate of return on that investment. And if I had to pay well, I'm not in this position, but I can see when an individual could be in this position where they were using a debit card to pay for everything, and for some reason they didn't have those extra $100 in their checking account. And if they had those $100, they would have been able to invest that and make that $30-40 more on that investment that they were making. But simply because they don't have those $100, they're not able to get $30-40, which is honestly very sad. And this is why using a credit card can be a really good thing, because you don't necessarily have to pay for an expense right away. You can wait until the end of the month, meaning you will end up having a little bit more money on your checking account that you can immediately use to add to that trade that you're doing and increase your total return by $30-40 profit. And $30-40 profit is a lot for just using $100 more. So it kind of buys you time and gives you more flexibility with your money. But credit cards are very beneficial, but you have to know how to use them, and they're not meant for everyone. If you're not financially responsible and you can't control your expenses, if you have the ability to spend $1,000 and you still don't do it because you know it's not in your checkings account, and that's not your income won't cover it, and you simply don't use it, then you definitely should be using a credit card because you're able to control your spending. But there's certain kinds of people who ultimately should avoid using credit cards because they're not able to take advantage of cash back or any sort of promotion like that, because they're simply not well established, and they're not good when it comes down to playing the system right and using these tips and tricks to take advantage of utilizing credit cards. So it has to be a very specific person, but I know that everyone can. You just have to learn how to be financially responsible and use it for your own good, not for anything bad. So you're kind of playing with fire a little bit, but as long as you're controlled, you know the risk, and you understand what you need to do in order to come out winning the battle, then you can definitely have a lot of success using credit cards. So yeah, I currently have two secured credit cards. I'm still kind of young, so I'm still not able to get a full credit card yet. But I know that as long as I continue to use those two secured credit cards, I should be able to get a credit card pretty soon. So I'm really excited for that. And if you need help getting a secured credit card or more information regarding that, I have this one really cool secured credit card that's very easy to get. All you have to do is apply for it, and they'll pretty much accept you. It's pretty simple. So let me know if you guys want that. Just comment down below, and I'll give you a link or something where you can find that. Anyways, I hope these 5 tips help you and convince you to get a credit card if you do not have one already. There's a lot of benefits from it. Like I said, you just have to be controlled, know the risk behind it, and why people get in trouble with credit cards in the first place. And as long as you learn the reasoning behind it and how you will avoid it, and you agree that you will use it responsibly, then it's definitely a great tool for you to start using. And I wouldn't wait any longer to start, because the earlier you start, the better credit score you will ultimately have. So I hope I brought value to you in this video. I kind of sound a little weird because I'm currently sick. I'm allergic to cats, and I had a cat in my house for quite a bit, and it's been affecting me. So sorry if my voice is kind of weird. But yeah, I hope all of you enjoyed this video. A lot of people put a lot of emphasis on why credit cards are bad and why you should definitely avoid them. But I want to let you all know that it's definitely not bad. Just like debt can be really good. You just have to do it for the right reasons, not for bad things that go down in value. If you use debt for investments or things that go up in value, as long as you'll make more money with that investment than the cost of the loan, the cost of the debt, then it's definitely 100 times worth it. And a lot of successful people will tell you this. It's just that people don't know how to control their debt, and they use debt for bad things, for purchases that go down in value over time. Thank you all so much. All of these videos take a lot of time to produce, so I would highly appreciate you give me a like in this video. Let's get this video to 20 likes, and I appreciate any comments. It really helps out, and it's sort of like a motivation for me to keep going. I really appreciate all of the support from you guys, and hopefully we can reach a wider audience soon. That way we can help more people. So thank you all so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. I hope this video brought value to you, like I said. And make sure you subscribe if you're new to the Flaming Prophets YouTube channel. Comment, like, anything like that would be highly appreciated. And make sure you check out the description of this video, where I have all of those affiliate links that I mentioned. It's basically free money. I don't see any reason, if you're interested in the product, the brokerages, or the Mercari app, anything like that, I don't see why you wouldn't want to use it if it's free money for you to start in any one of those applications. So definitely take advantage of that, and let me know, because I like hearing that you guys are using those links and that you're finding value in them, and I'll give you a shout out definitely. So thank you all so much. I'll see you on the next video. Peace.